Alright, hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So, update 8.4 has dropped, and we have the new Polish heavy tank line. And the first tank in that line is the 40TP Habicha. At least I think that's how you pronounce it, is Habicha. If anyone knows if it's pronounced differently, please tell me down below in the comments. But yeah, this tank is the first of the Polish heavy tank line. It is a tier 6 heavy tank here, as you can see, and has quite a few good, strong things going for it. So we're going to go ahead and jump straight into some replays of this tank. And this is my very first game in this tank that you are going to see right here, which I'm quite happy for a first game in a tank. It's always enjoyable to get such a good one for the first game. Now, like I said, this is a heavy tank, but it really doesn't look like a heavy tank. I don't know. To me, it looks more like a medium tank that's a little chunky, but, you know, just not quite as big as a normal heavy tank would be. But it is a heavy tank. So the armor on the tank it's okay. It's nothing amazing. The turret is pretty strong. I will say the turret is pretty strong on this tank. There are basically two main areas of the hull you can penetrate. You'll probably see them here in a little bit in the video, but there's this little strip on the top, and then there's the little strip on the bottom, and then the sides of the tank are quite weak. Those are very easy to penetrate at pretty much almost a straight on angle, not quite a straight on angle, but at a pretty big angle. They're still easy to penetrate. So I usually go for those a lot unless I'm directly facing the tank. But you can see right here, that's what I'm talking about. There's that lower plate, and then there's one more when it's facing towards you that you can penetrate also. But yeah, the thing about this tank that I really like is the gun. So this is a tier 6, obviously. 225 alpha gun here on this tank. And it only has a 6.3 second reload, which to me is, or not 6.3, 7.5 second reload. I don't know why I said 6.3. That will get a little quicker, though, obviously, when your crew is 100%. This is only at 75% crew, since this is my first battle. And I don't like paying gold for the crew. It just isn't quite worth it to me. But yeah, so this reload will get probably down to around 7 seconds. And for me, that at a tier 6 tank with 225 alpha is pretty devastating. It seems to tear through the enemies quite quickly. It's nothing insane or anything like that, but as you can see, we've already easily racked up 1600 damage, and that's a decent game already right there for a tier 6 tank. You gotta remember, this is only tier 6 we are talking about. So yeah, that's pretty much how the gun is on the tank. Quite well, decent penetration, accuracy is okay, and then quite decent DPM in my opinion. Now I kind of do miss a bunch of these shots here. Not sure at all where that one went. So, you know, the team is down three tanks right now to the other team. But then we luckily bounced 2 shots in a row right there. And another shot from that 225, and we get one in return. And we bounce another from this 40TP. So you can see the armor profile for tier 6 is actually quite decent, and it can work quite well. The ways I would play this tank is going hull down with that very strong turret. Going face hugs. Face hugs aren't going to be quite as effective, though, because you do have that strip of light armor that's pretty far up on the tank. And then, but other than that, there is not much for them to be able to penetrate. But for me, this is obviously just a tier 6, obviously, so there isn't too much strategy involved when you're playing this low of tiers. To me, it's just kind of a charge forward tank and destroy the enemy, like a lot of those good tier 6s are. There's that gun accuracy right there. It does miss a few shots every now and then, like I did say, but it's still quite reliable. And then I aim for the side of the tank right there. As you can see, it is quite an easy pin at even an angle like that. And then we're going to finish off this SU-100 here with a very nice snapshot for 2,800 damage this game, which is a quite nice game for a very first battle in this tier 6 tank. As well, we did pick up 4 kills in the first class with a high caliber and a top gun. So that was a good battle to start off the tank line with. And here's another battle here where I do quite well as well. We'll play this one here while I finish talking about the tank and its kind of playstyle and stuff. So like I said, the playstyle I would think is more basically just what I did in both of these battles. Go to the heavy side, you know, if there are lots of heavies on the tank, on the team, because you are a very slow tank, and it is going to take ages for you to get to that medium side, and by the time you do, most of the fighting will be over, or your team will have lost already, and you're just going to be dead, you know, dead. So what I would do is go to the heavy side most of the times when you can, and you actually can do quite well against these other heavies. You do have a decent armor profile. Like I said, a lot of tier 6 heavies don't have that good of armor. There's only a few. One of those few good ones here is the T150 right here, like I'm talking about. And there are a lot of other 40 TPs out right now in the battlefield, so you know it's not going to be as good comparison whenever you're fighting a lot of other 40 TPs when I'm saying the armor isn't that good on a lot of tier 6 heavy tanks, because those all have quite decent armor, like I've been saying. But most of the times you can penetrate the sides of these tier 6s quite easily, and obviously if you're a skilled enough player, playing at tier 6 is just a breeze. I mean, you can outsmart pretty much any player at tier 6, unless they're, you know, just grinding up a line, and they're usually playing like higher tiers and stuff. But other than that, it is quite easy to outsmart a lot of these guys and get to their sides or wherever their weak armor is, and they, you know, they'll just be tunneling some random guy off in the back of the map, and you'll easily finish them off. So it's a pretty easy tank to play. I would say this is a pretty easy tank to play. There's not much to it, like I said. I mean, go and hold down will give you quite a few bounces from that turret. Really, the only thing penetrable is that hatch, which is quite small. Really, it's not that easy to penetrate, especially at these lower tiers where people aren't quite as used to, you know, having to penetrate the hatch when the tank is hold down. It's a lot harder for them to do. They're not quite as good at aiming yet, so it's quite well at that. But yeah, that is pretty much the 40 TP. Decent tank. I think it's a fun tank in my opinion. I'm probably going to go ahead and free XP up to the tier 7 now though after this video, because I do want to get a vid out on that, maybe even today. I doubt I'll do it today though, because I have quite a few other things to do, but hopefully tomorrow. So stay tuned for that, and if you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you get all these future videos about these new Polish heavy tanks. They should all be coming quite soon. In the next week or so, I should hopefully have out all the way up to the tier 10 in reviews. So yeah, nice game right here as well. We are about tied up here with the teams, but it's really not fair here, even though the numbers are like that. There's a lot of one-shots out here. We get rid of that 40 TP. This Matilda 4 is going to go down, and then it's just those two meds left on the enemy team. But actually, this replay is going to go on for quite a bit longer, though, so I need to keep talking. So we're going to get a nice shot here off on this STRV here. And as you can see, I'm bouncing a lot in both of these games. Like I said, the armor profile, while it's not anything crazy, it actually bounces way more than it should, because people don't know how to aim at tanks like this, where it's just these two different little weak spots on the tank, and that's about all you can penetrate in a frontal angle. And so they're not really used to that, and they're kind of just shooting at you, whatever, because, you know, a lot of other tanks at this tier, medium tanks especially, have 0 armor, and you really don't have to aim at all where you're shooting. There's only a few tanks where you really have to aim. Basically, the VK, the ARL, and I'm trying to think of other tier 6 heavies that are like this. I think that's about it. There's really, like I said, not that many tanks that have decent armor at this tier. I'm trying to think. Maybe the, well, no, what's the, I can't remember. Anyway, but we are going to get a very nice HE out on this Chaffee here for our final shot of the game, bringing us into almost as much damage as the last game, 2,732, 3 kills, very nice game as well. That as well is going to be a first class, I believe. Let me just make sure here, and yes, it is a first class with the high caliber medal. So yeah, that is the 40 TP Habicha. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Decent tank. I definitely recommend grinding up this line. I think it's a very good line from what I've seen so far, and looks to be quite enjoyable. See you all in the next one. Bye.